The morning the storm took everything, Emma stood barefoot in the doorway of her small beach cafe and watched the waves swallow the last of the broken chairs. Wind had howled through the night like an angry chorus, and now all that remained were scattered pieces of what she had spent years building. Neighbors gathered on the road, whispering, shaking their heads. "That's terrible," one woman said softly. Emma felt a tight ache in her chest, but she surprised herself with the word that slipped out. Maybe. It wasn't courage. It was exhaustion. She had fought so long already, long hours, slow seasons, doubts about whether she had chosen the right life at all. Now, watching the shattered wood drift away, she felt both grief and an odd, fragile calm. Days passed. She cleaned mud, sorted debris, filled trash bags until her hands blistered. One afternoon, while dragging out a broken counter, she discovered an old wooden box that had been hidden inside the wall. Inside were faded photographs of the cafe when it first opened decades ago, a handwritten recipe book, and a letter from the original owner. The words made her still. "This place is not built of wood. It is built of mornings, of laughter, and of trying again." Her throat tightened. She sat on the floor and cried, not from loss, but from something strangely like hope. Neighbors returned, but this time with tools. Someone brought fresh lumber. Someone brought paint. Someone brought hot soup. "This is wonderful," they said as they worked beside her. Emma smiled through tears. Maybe. Rebuilding was slower than destruction. There were setbacks, wrong deliveries, unexpected expenses, days when she wondered if she was foolish to keep going. But there were also small miracles. A traveler who stopped and offered to design her a logo for free. Children painting seashells to decorate the windows. Strangers posting online about the little cafe coming back to life. On opening day, the air smelled like coffee and fresh bread again. The place was fuller than ever before, not just with people, but with stories, fingerprints of kindness, and the quiet strength that comes only after being broken and rebuilt. Weeks later, Emma learned that the storm had also exposed structural problems beneath the old foundation, problems that might have collapsed the cafe someday when it was full of customers. The destruction that looked like an ending had quietly protected many lives. One evening, as the sun melted into the horizon and conversations hummed softly around her, a teenager asked, "Do you ever wish the storm hadn't happened?" Emma looked out at the glowing water and thought of tears, of laughter, of hands that helped her begin again. "Sometimes," she said. Then she smiled gently. "But mostly, I think it was just life turning a page. Before you decide something is good or bad, pause. Life is still unfolding. What hurts today may carry the seed of tomorrow's blessing, and what seems perfect may hold unseen challenges. Stay open. Stay curious. Trust the journey, because sometimes the biggest storms rebuild us into who we were meant to be."